Hello, hello. Apologies for the delay in starting the stream, everybody. Yeah, I just had some issues back here, but I think we're ready to get underway as I don't have game audio for some reason. I can't hear the cars. There we go. Right. Welcome back, everybody, to Aero League Racing. I'm here today with Tier 4. This is Season 13, round number 10, Azerbaijan. There's just 5 more rounds left in this season, and we're at Baku, a very, very tricky track on this game, especially in regards of braking. It's really hard to get the car stopped in some corners, and yeah, the walls really just come at you really fast over here as we ride on board with Bang Average Seb for a flying lap of Baku. Let's see what kind of lap time he can put up. So far, looks pretty neat and tidy. He's gotten most of the apexes alright. As he heads through the twisty technical bit in Sector 2. Through the chicane, rides the curb on the right side. Doesn't seem like he carried very good minimum speed through the apexes, but nevertheless, all looks very clean. Decides not to cut the curbs on the inside there, an interesting choice. Possibly just for stability, as Christ goes fastest, obviously being the first person to set a lap, sets a 143.167, and yeah, that is the benchmark for everybody to aim for after these first runs. So we'll see what Bang Average Seb is able to do as he now heads through possibly the trickiest corner on this track and approaches the final actual braking zone, and now has just a couple more corners still left to negotiate before he crosses the line. Hello, Saeed, how are you? The Joker Psycho immediately goes faster than Christ. Will the game slots in behind him in P3, 3 and a bit tenths behind. Johnny goes fastest with a 42.4, 5 tenths quicker than the Joker Psychos. Now Bang Average Seb, with a very good effort on his first lap, puts in a 42 flat. So yeah, that was good from him. Jordy Boy goes second, 4 tenths behind. He ain't Christ, he's Chris T. Well, I'm calling him Christ because Christ is just such a more badass name than than Chris T. I mean, who wants to be called Chris T? Right? Like, isn't Christ just cooler? I think it's cooler. Right, Cunningfern still in the pits, Wicked Prophet still on a lap. As he knocks over the bollard and skips over the curbs there, that would shave a lot of lap time off from his eventual lap time that he sets over here. As now he crosses the last couple of corners, and it's foot down to the floor all the way to the line, and we'll see what kind of lap time he can set. Currently his teammate is in P1 with a 42 flat, DRS wide open now as he approaches the line. Let's see what kind of lap time he can set. Wicked Prophet only P7 at the moment, almost 2 seconds off of his teammate. That's not the best effort we've seen so far, but hopefully he can make up some more time. We saw he clearly lost a lot of time in that one tricky corner where he just hopped over the curb. Twanak on a lap as well as the Red Bull slows down to get out of his way. Let's have a look at Przemu. Przemu now just heading through Sector 2, I believe. Twanak now through the final corner, sets the fastest middle split so far and gets all out of shape out of the final corner. That was eerily reminiscent of Kimi Räikkönen back in, I believe, 2018 or something. But yeah, definitely lost buckets of lap time there at the end, unfortunately, Twanak, but still going to try and put in a decent lap. Hopefully his Sector 2 is good enough, and it is good enough for P4. Despite that error through the final corner, he still manages to put that car in 4th. So yeah, after the first runs, I believe it is First Blood Bang Average Seb with a 42 flat. So yeah. Well, actually, we still have Przemu to cross the line, so let's keep an eye on him. We know him to be very, very quick, and yes, he is. Goes P4 just ahead of Twanak with a 42.7, about half a tenth quicker than the Haas car behind him. And that, I believe, is all the first runs done and over with. Wicked Prophet on his end lap, going back into the pits. Yep, into the pits. So, 10 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, and so far it is the McLaren of Bang Average Seb in P1, followed by Jordy Boy in P2, Johnny in P3, Prajemu in P4, and Twanek round off your top 5. Alright. So we'll wait to see who goes out first for these next runs. I believe Twanek is coming into the pits. The Joker Psycho, not on a lap, but I believe he will be the first one to set his second lap. I think he's on an out lap at the moment. So a lot of people now coming out of the pits, but it is going to be the Joker Psycho, the first one across the line to set his lap. There are a couple of... Is that 2 Alfa Romeos I'm seeing? Yeah, one after the other. I think actually they might be ahead of the Joker. A bit of slipstreaming action going on over here as Cunningfern is going to be towing his teammate Prajemu, unless Prajemu is actually on his end lap, so he's going to go into the pits. But yeah, Cunningfern, I believe, the first one to start his lap in these second runs. It's right on board with him for the first couple of corners. Gets the apex nicely. Let's see how he does through turn 2. Very tricky braking zone. You have to brake very early and come off the brakes while keeping your wheels straight, otherwise you just kind of go straight on into the wall, so it's a hard one to negotiate. As now he heads down into turn 3. Let's see if he gets close to the wall. Yes, he does. Lets the car flow through the exit. This looks pretty tidy from him so far. Not sure if it's very quick, but it is tidy, which is important at a track like this. Through sector 1, not the fastest we've seen so far, but definitely... Oh, as he gets a bit out of shape, gets on the curbs on the inside, and that unsettles the rear, and unfortunately I don't think he will be looking at setting a groundbreaking lap time on this occasion. And yeah, that was the setting I was looking for, my bad. So now he heads through the castle section, very tricky always to negotiate, especially with the risk to breaking your front wing on a hot lap. When you're pushing to the max through here, it's sometimes very hard to get the corners all chained up, especially with this being such a long track. So now he heads through the final corner, and he has about 20 seconds before he crosses the line, I would say. 15 seconds, something like that. Through the snake twisty section, right up against the walls on that exit, as now he powers down the main straight, reaching probably top speeds of around 345, 350 almost as he crosses the line, and it is P10 for him. And Schoen has joined the session as well, so yeah. I think I saw some improvement up here. Yeah, Will the Game goes P3 with a 42.4. It's a decent effort from him. Joker Psycho, I believe, also improved up to P5. He goes. So we have yellow flags in sector 2. I believe that is for an Alfa Romeo. Yes, it was. Probably just trying to get out of the way as the Alpine is doing the same, I think. What Alpine is that? I think that's Johnny. Oh, as Johnny actually was not getting out of the way. Johnny had a bit of an incident in the castle section. He's down a front wing. And I think this is just his outlap, so he's going to have to definitely get back in and try and get that replaced as quick as possible. But we'll try and see who is on a lap at the moment. I think the next one across the line is Noof Squid. Currently last, goes 10th, 1 place improvement. Nothing too special from him, but still better than being last, I guess. So we have more yellow flags in sector 2. That is for the Joker Psycho, just getting out of the way of cars. As Jordy Boy goes fastest in the Aston Martin. P1 with a 141.8. That's 0.2 quicker than Bang Average Seb. So you can tell that these guys have been practicing this weekend, trying their best to set decent lap times. and it is paying off. Just gonna have a quick look at the standings, see what is going on in Tier 4. Will the game not on a lap? Joker not on a lap. Przemu on a lap. Alright, so he's set the fastest first sector of anybody in the session so far. So we'll ride on board with him and see how he does towards the end of this lap. So currently the championship leader is Will the Game. He is leading by quite a substantial margin, 51 points to this man, Przemu, is second in the championship and maybe just trying to fight back a little bit and apologies, and get himself a good result. He will need a bit of a miracle as he sets the fastest middle split as well. So he's on for a very good lap if he can just keep it together, which through the third sector is not really a hard task, but it also depends on how much downforce he's running. So now he's going to open up the DRS very shortly, and towards the line we'll keep an eye on his top speed and what lap time he sets. 349, and it is a 141.611. That is the fastest of anybody so far. So he dethrones Jordy Boy from that provisional pole and gives everybody a new benchmark to reach for. So Wicked Prophet on a lap. Wicked Prophet is on a lap. He is not on a lap. Cunning Fern not on a lap either. So, yeah, these guys are going to have to hustle if they want to make it in for another lap. Christ on an out lap. Same for Twanak, same for Johnny. So these guys are going to try and get their laps in early. Yeah. I'm not quite sure if Wicked Prophet is taking 2 warm-up laps, maybe. But that's what it seems like to me at the moment. Gets out of the way for Christ, who is also not on the lap. So, for the second runs, I believe it will be Schoen who starts his lap. This will be his first lap of the session, as he joined late. But, oh, that is not how you want to take turn 1 on your one and only attempt, and he knows it and backs out immediately. Let's just hope he's carrying enough fuel to go for another lap towards the end of this. Meanwhile, we'll check out, I believe it is it the Red Bull? No, it's Christ. Christ is going to be the next person to start a lap. Right behind him is Noof Squid. We have a train of about 4 cars, I believe, who are all 3 cars, including Wicked Prophet, who are all going to start their laps. And the first of the final runs will be Christ. He'll be the first one across the line towards the end of this lap. As, oh, back there, I caught a glimpse of an Alpine maybe getting a bit squirrely. But all is okay for now as Christ goes through turn 3, nice and close to the walls, but so far, this looks like a very decent effort from him. We'll wait to see what kind of sector time he does. That is the fastest of anybody so far. That's a very decent sector 1 time. Let's hope he can keep it together for the rest of this lap, because he might be able to challenge for something special here. Down in the second gear, and now approaches the castle section, and now the slowest corner on the track. Going to want to get on the power as early as possible to get a nice exit. The straight is quite long. Very important exit out of the castle section, as now the tricky left-hander seems to have aced it. Maybe not as close to the wall as he would have liked, but very good effort regardless, as now he crosses the final braking zone and is going to make his way through the final couple of corners to show us what lap time he is capable of. DRS wide open, a bit low on ERS, maybe opened it just a bit too early, but Jesus Christ himself goes P5, a very decent effort from the Williams driver, 42.4, but with people improving all the time behind, will he be able to keep that? As I believe it is the Alpine of... Alpine of Johnny, next one across the line. Let's see what lap time he can do. No, actually, he's just starting his lap. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm lost or like... I think I'm just lost because I think it was Wicked Prophet who was the next one to set a lap time, and he puts himself into P9 with a 43.5. Unfortunately, everybody who's set a lap time so far as the time of the session has run out. Przemu, Twanak, Cunning Fern, Christ, Wicked Prophet, all these people will not be setting another lap. But we'll have a look at the Ferrari of Skun, who backed out and is going to be the first person of the remaining drivers to set a lap around here. Does not go fastest through that middle sector, gets on the curbs on the exit. This looks like a bit of a difficult session for him, but we'll wait to see what he can do because we know that he's so quick and we know he's worth a lot more than just a 53.6. Bang average Seb goes P2 ahead of Jordy Boy. As now Schoon crosses the line, and it's only P9 for him, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the Joker's Psycho. ERS off, he's also not going to improve. Further behind, I think it's Wicked Prophet. He's on an in-lap, he's not going to improve. Noof Squid, next one to the line. Let's have a look at what he can do. Right, Noof Squid to the line. What lap time can he set? Only goes P10 with a 143.3, and I believe that is everybody's. So, it is going to be Przemu on pole ahead of Bang Average Seb, Jordy Boy, and Will the Game. So, Przemu doing the most he can to maybe try and claw back at this championship. He's a good 50 points behind, but this is exactly what he needs to do. He just needs to drive as fast as he can, get the win, and not worry about what Will the Game behind is doing. So, great effort from him. Przemu locks up pole position. Bang Average Seb in P2, Jordy Boy P3, and Will the Game P4. Christ goes P5, Johnny P6, the Joker Psycho P7, Twanak P8, Skun P9, Noof Squid P10, and that is your top 10 here at Baku. It's quite a spread in terms of lap time. OG Moose King unfortunately didn't get to set a lap time, didn't get any running in, and he will be trying to make his way up through the field as well. But yeah, looks close between the top three, but further behind that, there's just such a big gap that I kind of get the feeling that the top three are going to run away with it. Whatever it is, I think we're in for an exciting race ahead of us. And apologies if I don't sound like I'm on my A game right now. I'm pretty tired. Some water always helps. Right, so I believe Formation Lap should be disabled, because Codemasters just can't be asked to to make a game right the first time. But regardless, I'm not complaining. I won't have to commentate over a freaking 2-minute Formation Lap, as we have 4 and 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go. Przemu gets a very good start, but Bang Average Seb also getting a good start. It looks like the Aston Martin of Jordy Boy is just going to stay ahead of the AlphaTauri of Will the Game, so they all managed to keep it very clean through the first corner. As I see a bit of front wing flying off from the Haas, that is the Haas of Twanak, and he's already down to front wing, and further back we have an incident, and that is Skun involved, as well as Noof Squid, and I believe that was OG Moose King as well, as the McLaren with Wicked Prophet now slows down on the straight. So Skun maybe gets away with not getting damaged, but he is all the way at the back and a few seconds back, and that is not ideal for him. But further ahead, it's Przemu, who is clear as day in front of everybody. Six and a half tenths is his gap already to the car behind. Twanak now without a front wing is further back. We have Wicked Prophet and Noof Squid going at it in the chicane, and Noof Squid just gets over the curbs and kind of squeezes Wicked Prophet out of it. And he's just going to have to back off as now OG Moose King has a little look down the inside of Wicked Prophet, but not going to be able to make the move down into that corner. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2. I'm not quite sure what that's for, but we'll keep an eye out as now Christ and the Joker Psycho going at it, and it looks like the Joker Psycho maybe just got a bit out of shape there as Christ makes the move down his inside. But he's going to follow him close all the way through this back as, oh, that's a bit of a tap from Cunningfern, and he's lost his front wing. Cunningfern down a front wing. The Joker Psycho might also have picked up damage from that incident, so we have quite a few drivers who fucked it already, and they've all got damage. I can see like a few missing front wings over here. Cunningfern, he's barely going to be able to take those last corners flat. And it is a mess on lap 1 here at Baku as the Haas of Twanak goes into the pits. I would imagine Cunningfern and the Joker Psycho, yep, they're also going to go into the pits. Holy Jesus. That was, yeah, I mean, that was just some open lobby behavior from Cunningfern, but regardless, seems like already we have the race split into two major groups. Wicked Prophet a clean 9 seconds behind the top 4, and it's only been a lap, so this is going to be a fun race, I think. But we'll keep an eye on everybody and see how they progress through the field after that damage that they all got. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, braking is just not anybody's strong suit at this track, and it shows. Wow. Well, OG Moose King is already out, and we have a full safety car. I believe he might have crashed into the castle section, did he? I was looking at chat for a second, but yeah, OG Moose King, the second Haas, out of the race on lap 2, and we have a full safety car. This is probably the best thing that could have happened. I'm really sorry, OG Moose King, but your sacrifice is worth it. We have a safety car, and this is going to bunch the field up again, so yeah. The top 4 won't run off with it. That's great. That's great news. Nobody really deciding to pit. That is the wise decision. Just stay out. Keep track position. Switching tires this early, you're not going to make it to the end. So, yeah. Well, the game actually decides to pit, so he's taking a bit of a risk. Is he going to go onto the hard tires? Yep, swaps onto the hards. So maybe going to try and take that set of tires to the end, but yeah, gonna be tough. Noof Squid also deciding to pit onto a set of mediums. Christ or Christy also in the pits. Let's see what tires he decides to go on. That Williams garage is all the way at the end of the pit lane. He decides to go into the mediums, so he's definitely committing to a 2-stopper, because I don't believe the mediums will go the distance at this track. Right. Race has been neutralized, and it is still Prajemu who's in the lead. Bang Average Seb in P2, Jordy Boy P3, Wicked Prophet all the way up to P4 after that early incident that he was involved in, so he's doing a great job. Skun all the way into P5. He was dead last and tapped around by the second corner, and he's already up into P5. So, yeah, is that the most impressive recovery drive you guys have ever seen? I think it is. I can't name anything more impressive. Going to last, up into P5 in like fucking half a lap. That's just mental. As we're just waiting for the pack to bunch up. I don't think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Most probably in at the next lap, though. The end of next lap. But we will wait to see the notification from Race Control and what they have to say about it. As Johnny gets past Noof. Oh, looks like New Squid is coming in the pits again. Oh, this is very smart from him, actually. Maybe not the best idea in terms of maintaining track position, and... Oh, he's actually getting his wing changed. Oh, so he must have pit earlier and the game didn't change his wing, and I'm afraid, yeah, the Joker Psycho suffers the same fate, so... Both of them pitting again to have to change their front wing. That is unfortunate for them. That's going to relegate them all the way to the back of the field. But yeah, the game loves to do that sometimes. You just pit and it doesn't change your freaking wing. It's happened to me just like a few days ago. Tier 1, it was fun. My throat is so dry right now, it's incredible. You know, I'd really appreciate a co-coms one day. I'm gonna have to think about it, because, I don't know. I feel like it would be fun. And being alone is not... Okay, I don't know why the fuck I'm talking about this. But nothing from the safety car as yet as to whether or not it's coming into the pits. The Joker Psycho still has quite a ways to go before he catches up to the back, and I'm afraid it might just be too late. So we might have to sit through another lap of the safety car, unless the game decides to bug out, as it does in Vegas. But, yeah. We'll wait to see. They've crossed the pit lane entry, so definitely going to be one more lap behind the safety car. That is very true, Carp. That is very true. But sometimes the heart also yearns for something more. You know what I mean? The Joker Psycho decides to pit once again. Swaps back to the hards with 21 more laps remaining after the safety car comes in. Maybe gonna try and take it to the end of the race, but yeah, he's gonna lose so much pace that a two-stopper might just be quicker from that point onwards, but who knows? He might be able to make it work. I, for one, hope he does. But he will definitely catch up to the back, and the safety car will definitely be in at the end of this lap. Yeah, you know what's up, Carb. You know, it's times like these when you're sitting in your room all alone, talking to a screen through a mic, and you're just like, I really wish I had a co-commentator right now. You know? Like somebody to lean on. God, okay. So Joker Psycho has officially caught up to the back of the pack, so that means the safety car will be in at the end of this lap for sure. Pajama Weaving trying to get some temperature in his tires. He also is aware of the fact that the safety car will be coming in. Thank you, Carp. I appreciate it. See, I'm not normally a commentator. I don't do comms. Well, I wouldn't say I enjoy doing comms. It's fun sometimes, but I know that I'm not, like, great at it. But I try my best, regardless. Anyway, Przemu backing the pack up to allow the safety car to go into the pits. I'm very curious about his telemetry, and yeah, let's just keep an eye on this. Yeah, so he's doing about 50 kph through the final corner. We'll wait to see when he decides to put the power down and go. Still just engaging in that tire warm-up, slowing down a bit, and now he decides to put the power down, and he has caught everybody back there napping. It looked like Jordy Boy might have overtaken, or they're all overtaking each other before. Yeah, this is a mess. They're all overtaking each other before they cross the line, so yeah, they're almost 3 wide, it looks like, but it's going to be Skun on the inside of Bang Average Seb, now heading towards turn 3, and it looks like Skun's got that move done, and Twanak is going to want to try and pick up the pieces as he also goes down the inside into turn 2, and Bang Average Seb loses out 2 positions. It's now Skun in P3 and Twanak in P4. Further back, it looks like Wicked Prophet and Johnny are going at it. Wicked Prophet towards the inside, gonna try one down the inside of Will the Game, and he does get it as, oh, they make a bit of contact and they're stopped. It's basically a standstill into turn 3, and Will the Game is second last in P11, Wicked Prophet in P12, and they both have dropped down. Not enough space left on the outside for Will the Game. That late move from Wicked Prophet trying to get to position has costed the both of them. That is very unfortunate for those two drivers, as it's going to be tough, very tough to get all the way back up again. Oh, jeez. Yeah, just looked a bit like a bit of a clumsy send. Maybe didn't leave enough space on the outside as Cunningford has retired, and we have another safety car. Ladies and gentlemen, on lap 6 of 26, we have another safety car at this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Yeah, just that looked rough. Cunningford, I believe, on the exit of the castle section had a bit of a crash, and another safety car. Przemu is still leading. I believe at this point it might be a good idea to come in for hards and try and take those to the end. We'll wait to see what he does. He decides to stay out. Jordy Boy also staying out. Skun also staying out. Of course, Twanak stays out. Bang Average Seb stays out. Yeah, doesn't look like anybody is going to be pitting. Maybe further back, these guys. Wicked Prophet, Will the Game. Yeah, Wicked Prophet and Will the Game both decide to dart into the pits. Or was it the Joker second? Yeah, it was Joker. So Joker and Wicked Prophet both decide to go into the pits, necessitating another front wing change. Skun for the win. Hell yeah, dude. Skun for the win. My goat. Although, wait, no, I will say I want Przemu to win this a bit more, because Will the Game's in a bad position and he's realistically the closest to the championship. So I want a fight. I want a title fight. But regardless, Skun probably in the best position to win this race at the moment on the harder tire. In P3, if he can just keep that gap to Przemu and Jordy Boy down, this will pay dividends to him towards the end. Penalties, I don't believe anybody has a penalty at the moment. I will check. Yep. Everybody clear of penalties. So for now it's a straight fight. But when the stewards get involved, maybe that will change things a bit. I agree. Too many safety cars. If it were up to me, safety cars would be disabled, but that's probably not a good idea. Yeah, you're right. They don't have enough time to even get penalties. I mean, they've done like 1 or 2 laps of actual racing, so like even if you get a warning a lap, like you're still safe. But I bet that will change towards the end of the race. This track is a bit hard to get penalties on, but Tier 4 will find a way to get penalties. I'm sure of it. It's a nice break for me, I guess. Who am I kidding? It's not like I've anything fucking better to do. I shouldn't be swearing, I'm sorry. Just not used to the whole commentator business. Joker goes into the pits once again. I believe he's doing the world-renowned 4-stop strategy here at Baku. Jarno Opmeer did that once, and he went on to win by 30 seconds, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I believe the safety car will be in at the end of this lap as well. As once again, it's going to be Przemu leading them on the restart as Bang Average 7. Johnny looked to be going at it under safety car conditions, fighting tooth and nail for P5, and it's Bang Average 7 who comes out on top. Excellent move from him. You know, it may not look it, but these guys are pushing as hard as they can right now. Like, Przemu is sweating his ass off trying to keep up with the safety car, I bet. Right, safety car in at the end of this lap, and now Przemu is going to lead them away for yet another restart. So he's weaving very aggressively, just trying to get some temperature into those tires. I see the tool, like the tool icon at the bottom right, which means that his pit window might be open. Yeah, his pit window is open, but it wouldn't make sense to pit yet, just because his tires are probably still only like 2% done, because he's done one lap of racing. Bang Average 7, Johnny once again, so they all thought that he's gone. He has gone now. Przemu once again catches Jordy Boy just a bit off guard. Jordy is going to drain his entire battery, maybe to try and catch up to the tail of Przemu, maybe try and get a move done into turn 1. He's getting the gap down the slipstream, very effective on this straight, but he's not going to be close enough. Jordy Boy is going to try and have a look down the inside, but he's just cut off by Przemu. Good defending from Przemu, and they all look to have kept it pretty clean. Further back we have, another incident between Wicked Prophet and Will the Game, and this time Will the Game has lost a bit of bodywork, as has Wicked Prophet, so they both crash again at the same corner this time, and looks like Jordy Boy's going to have a send round the outside, gets very close to the walls, but just manages to stay ahead. We have a new race leader here on lap 9. Further back, Schoon and Twanak going at it, and a bit of contact again. Twanak on the inside of Schoon has to back out of it. Johnny now gonna have a look down the inside of Bang Average 7. He does get the position into the chicane. So Jordy Boy now leading the race ahead of Przemu, who maybe just got caught out a bit into turn 3. Schoon still maintaining P3, Twanak P4, Johnny up into P5. But yeah, further back, Wicked Prophet, Will the Game. I mean, like, these guys are like magnets to each other tonight. Surely going to be coming back into the pits once again. I believe that is Twanak who has hit the wall and lost a bit of bodywork. I'm not into. No, it was Schoon. Schoon has hit the wall and he's damaged his front wing, and he's going to drop all the way back. He's going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap, strap on a set of mediums, and hope and pray that they make it to the end. That is so unfortunate for him. Must have just misjudged how much he needed to slow down for that corner, and Schoon goes into the pits. We'll wait to see if Will the Game does as well. Will the Game also into the pits. Wicked Prophet also into the pits. So 3 drivers pitting. The Joker Psycho pits again. That is only his 1100th pit stop of this race so far. If he finishes anywhere near the fucking points, I will be surprised. But I must have missed something as Jordy Boy is now in P6 and it's Przemu who leads the race once again. Twanak in P2 and Bang Average Seb is up into a podium position. What did I miss? What happened to Jordy Boy? Why is he all the way back? I look away for 1 second. Damn, that is unfortunate. I'm really sorry I missed that, but it's Przemu who's back up in the lead and already stretching his gap out to Twanak. A bit over a second. It's crucial he stays out of the DRS range of Twanak if he wants any chance of walking away with this race. Twanak also just going to want to try and hold on to P2. It's crucial for his race that he stays within Przemu's DRS just so he can have him pull him along so he's able to defend from Bang Average Seb behind. Holy Jesus. Right, so I believe Seb will have a nice move on Twanak into turn 1. We'll see, he's not even going to wait for turn 1, he's just going to go for it through the final corner and he's already peeled ahead. Possibly not the best spot as Twanak is down a front wing and he comes into the pits. Bang Average Seb with the fastest lap of the race so far, so now it's Christ in a P3. And Jordy Boy gains 1 more position up in a P5. Oh boy. Right, we'll keep an eye on the Joker and Schoon as this is the closest fight we have so far. The Joker gonna switch to the outside, maybe try and swoop around the outside of Schoon, says the fastest last sector, breaks later and gets the position ahead of Schoon for P8. Will he come out behind Twanak? Yes, he will. Twanak is gonna have incredibly cold tires out of those pits though. And the Joker immediately with DRS is going to be all over the back of Twanak, and it is crucial for Schoon to get this move done as well. He does not want to be stuck behind Twanak, but just not going to be able to get close enough. Maybe running a bit too low on the downforce, but too high on the downforce, I should say. But Schoon now on the fresh mediums is stuck behind Twanak on the fresh hards. The cold hards. Bang Average Seb has actually worked his way back into the DRS of Przemu. It's going to be interesting to see if he's able to keep in there. Needs to use some battery to really ensure that he gets in it. 1.1 is the gap at the moment. We'll wait to see what it is as they cross the detection zone. Loses time out of the final corner, but he's no doubt going to be draining all the way to the detection zone. No, he isn't. Turns it off for the twisty bit. You gotta have the commitment to keep it on through there. And he's not going to get DRS on this occasion. Possibly going to try it for next lap. As Schoon now very close to the back of Twanak. Przemu sets the fastest lap, immediately superseded by Bang Average Seb and then Christ, as Johnny now comes into the pits on lap 12. Jordy also into the pits, so both of them going to swap onto the hard tires till the end of the race, no doubt. Schoon very close to the back of Twanak, and this is no doubt going to be a very easy pass for him. The DRS, ERS, and Slipstream. The Joker Psycho sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Schoon moves himself up into P8, ahead of the House of Twanak. Bang Average Seb incredibly close off the back of Przemu, so maybe had a helping of DRS there to get himself right back into the mix. Further back, just going to have a look at Schoon, Twanak, and Johnny as they're all going at it. Looks like Twanak is going to be able to get ahead of Johnny. Schoon not able to follow him through, as he does indeed follow him through as Johnny goes and takes to the escape road. Broke a bit too late and knew instantly he was not going to make that corner. So wise thing to not be down a front wing and instead just lose a bit of time. Bang Average Seb once again close behind Przemu. I don't want to miss the overtake for the lead if it does happen. He has a bit more battery than the car in front, so we'll wait to see at the end of the straight what he's able to do. If he's going to use it, if he's going to try and save his tires a bit. If Przemu decides to pit, which I believe would be the most optimal decision here, don't let Bang Average Seb pass you, just go into the pits and try and get the advantage of the undercut. Jamu decides to go into the pits. Good lad. So Bang Average Seb leads them away in P1. Obviously yet to pits, but Prajemu making what I believe to be the best decision and goes into the pits on lap 12. At the end of lap 12. Christ in P2. Prajemu onto the hards. We'll wait to see where he comes out. He's going to be behind New Squid, behind the Joker Psycho. It's important that he gets out ahead of this cluster of cars, and it looks like he has done so, so that is good for him. It's going to be very close behind this Schoon as we have a full safety car, and Prajemu has been completely and utterly fucked here on lap 13. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Right as he pits, the safety car comes out. You couldn't script it. That is unreal. So Bang Average Seb, Christ, Noof Squid, everybody ahead is going to get a free pit stop. And they will happily take that. Bang Average Seb is going to come out in the lead of the race. Christ as well in P2. Wow, that is incredibly unfortunate for Prajemu, but wow. Unbelievable stuff here at Baku. We're only halfway through the race, but you never know what's going to happen, but at the moment it looks like this race has just been handed to Seb in P1 for McLaren. I, for one, would love to see him win, but yeah, you gotta feel bad for Prajemu there. Like, without factoring in safety cars, he made the best decision to come in, as now Bang Average Seb is going to happily take his free pit stop, as I imagine Christ will as well. Noof probably should as well. The mediums will easily make it to the end around here from this point on. Noof. Is he going to pit? Jordy Boy has retired. I heard that crash, but I didn't quite see it. That was freaking hilarious. There he is. Oh boy, that is... I fucking heard him crash. I didn't even see him. But we're down to 10 runners here at Baku, so that means everybody who finishes this race will be rewarded with points unless there is a disqualification of some sorts by the stewards. Joker deciding to stay out, that is not a wise decision. But yeah, I can't see his race going any worse than it already has from here on out. Christ is probably sat in the best position to win this race. He's in P2 with a bit of a tire advantage as well. So, yeah, his tires are going to drop off towards the end of the race compared to the Seb's, but if he can just stretch out a big enough gap in these opening few laps after the safety car restart, he'll be in the best position to win this race. Prajamu's going to have a hell of a job to do if he wants to take this win back. But with all the crashes and incidents and spins we've seen so far, I wouldn't count anything out. The viewership increases so much when there's a safety car. What are y'all doing? Put your phone down. Drive. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Don't want you crashing under a safety car. I'm only looking out for you guys. If there's somebody in chat, please tell me a joke. I'm quite bored. I'm so lonely, broken angel. I'm so lonely, listen to my heart. We should have a singing competition here in ALR. I've lost my voice by doing comms, but I would still quite like to sing for you guys if you want to hear me sing. It's like fourth safety car.
Right now?
Yeah, it's fourth.
Are you muted?
No.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Aero.
That is your main commentator for Tier 4, who I'm replacing. He was very busy, he just got home, but no matter.
I'm deeply sorry for not being able to attend, but
Are you?
for safety car, I'm not really sorry.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I thought. See you. Alright, the number of pit stops, I'm so glad you asked, Swen. Yeah, so currently the pit stop championship leader is the Joker Psycho on a 7 stop. This man has stopped 7 fucking times and he is in P9. He's going to get points somehow. Every 2 laps he has boxed. And he is still going to finish in the points, provided he finishes this race. That kind of talent you can't buy. You can't... It's impossible to find. But that's what we have. Will the Game 4 is his score at the moment. Currently P2 in the Pit Stop Championship. Yeah, if the Joker gets anywhere near the fucking podium, I'm actually gonna flip my shit. But let's pray the safety car is in at the end of this lap. Switch back to tires. Yep, safety car in this lap, and this time it's going to be bang average Seb to lead us away at this restart, so we'll ride on board with him and we will wait to see when he decides to go. There is going to be 10 laps, or 11 laps actually, of racing after he decides to go. Not decided to go yet. You're not allowed to really go and then stop, but I think he'll get away with that. Let's just hope he doesn't do it very often. Still not decided to go as yet. He wants to go as late as possible. That is the best way to do it. As now he decides to put the power down, and he has gone, but Christ is hot on his tail. Maybe not the best exit that he could have gotten. Not going to be close enough into turn 1, but definitely going to be trying to look for something into turn 3 with that tire advantage that he has. Further back, we have Skoon going down the inside of Przemu, and Skoon has spun it! Span round by the side pod of death, and hopefully he's avoided some damage there. But Przemu, that's one way to get up to P3, and he has done. Up into P3 now, gonna try and hunt down the top 2. Doesn't look like Christ is gonna be close enough to Seb. Further back we have Twanak and the Wicked Prophet going at it. Twanak down the inside of Wicked Prophet, leaves the space on the exit. Wicked Prophet kinda shuts the door on him a little bit, but he's gonna hold this inside line on him and gets the move back done into turn 4. That's well done from Wicked Prophet, as now Noof Squid is going to try and pick up the pieces on Twanak, trying it around the outside of the chicane, which turns to the inside. Gets a slightly better exit. Both of them get a compromised exit as the Joker Psycho with the ERS manages to get the both of them, as does Will the Game. He gets... Actually, they don't get the both of them. Doesn't look like he got anybody there. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. The Haas and the freaking Alpha Tauri look so similar, but... Anywho... Twanak still close to the back of Wicked Prophet, maybe gonna look for a move down the inside. Yes, he is, has a bit of a look, but decides just to back out of it, and once again very close to the wall, and this time the Joker Psycho is gonna have the inside line as we have a VSC, so... Oh boy, the Joker Psycho just having to back out of that move as we are under virtual safety car conditions. Bang average Sebs still leading them away. Christ in P2, Przemu up to P3. That's good progress from him. As the VSC has turned into a full safety car, everybody. We have another safety car on lap 16. Twanak decides to go into the pits. Noof Squid also into the pits. Khun also into the pits. Yay. Fucking hell, guys. This is what, our safety car so far. That's great. That's real great. Yeah, I mean, lap 17 of 26. Another safety car. That Twanek opts to go for the softs. Maybe he doesn't have any new tires left. Deciding to pit for soft tires. Interesting one, that. Maybe having the advantage? I'm not too sure how good the softs are around this track. I've not done much practice so far, but I would assume they would make it to the end, but I'm not sure if that would be the quickest way to get to the end. I know they're going to be really quick for the first few laps, though, so we'll wait to see what he's able to do. Hopefully going to make very nice moves and try and claw his way back up. All these safety cars are helping Christ a lot, just because he's going to be able to maintain that tire advantage for longer. Looks like the Wicked Prophet has decided to come into the pits. Hopefully he opts for the soft tires. I would like to see some soft tires go on. I have no fucking idea what tires he's on. Yep, those are the softs. Hell yeah. Soft tires till the end. That is a good decision from him, I guess. Drop down a few in track position, but hopefully he'll make those back up with the tire advantage. Now I'm pretty sure they would make it to the end because you still have another lap, or, well, this lap at the minimum under safety car, and if he... I believe that would just be 7 laps, 8 laps of racing. Softs can do that. I know some people are going to try the soft medium strategy in like tier 1, maybe in tier 3, but yeah. This is the cleanest street circuit race I've seen so far. And the Joker Psycho has also smashed the world record for the most pit stops in one race. And he's sitting in P5, which is just mind-boggling to me. Let's shoot for 10, Joker. You can do it, buddy. Right, so, safety car in this lap. Gonna return to green flag conditions very shortly, and once again, we will ride on board with Bang Average Seb and see when he decides to go. Yeah, I should play Fortnite, Mr. Chief Keef. It's a good idea. So Bang Average Seb now decides to go, and once again gets a very nice restart relative to Christ, who's not going to be close enough. Looks like an even spread throughout the fields. Schoon is the closest one to the car in front, very close off the back of Twanek. Going to try a move maybe around the outside, tries to maybe brake a bit later. Keeps his wheel in there, but not quite getting it done. Very squirrely on the exit, and Noof Squid is going to take that chance to dive him down the inside into turn 2. Leaves the space on the exit. They both navigate it very cleanly, and it is going to be Noof Squid ahead of Schoon, but heading down into turn 3. We'll wait to see Iskun can maybe try and fight back. Twanak is also going to be trying to make moves on these soft tires. Iskun gets himself back ahead of Noof. Noof Squid maybe just a bit too close to the wall there and loses out a couple of positions, relegates himself down into P10. At the moment it looks like Seb with a healthy lead over Christ. Even though Christ should in theory have the tire advantage, Seb has been just rapid throughout the qualifying session and in this race so far. But we'll keep an eye on the soft runners and see what exactly is going on through their minds. Hun, surprisingly very close off the back of Twanak. Maybe not going to look for a move into this corner, but on the main straight I wouldn't be surprised. Twanak, oh, he's just got so much more grip it seems, but gets a bit squirrely on the exit, and Hun does not need a second invitation to send one down the inside, but just backs out and gets himself over the curbs. And that kills any momentum that he had, and that's going to invite Wicked Prophet to try and go for a move down this long straight. Turns on the battery, just 4/10 behind Schoon. Will he be able to get the position down into turn 1? We'll wait to see. Gap coming down all the time. Wicked Prophet with the softer tires is going to have a lunge down the inside. Schoon with more momentum on that outside line, but it is not enough to keep him in it, as further back Noof has an incident of his own. Luckily manages to keep it out of the walls. It's the Joker Psycho now on Johnny. These two are going side by side. The Joker to the outside. Just runs out of room a little bit there, but he's still going to keep his nose in towards the inside. Medium tires versus those hard tires. Space is left, but Johnny does get a bit squirrely. As now through the middle comes Will the Game. Gonna try maybe a move down the inside of the Joker Psycho, and Joker runs over the curbs, and Will the Game gets him for P5. So the Joker down into P6 now, with Johnny managing to hang on to P4. That move started with the Joker Psycho trying to get into P4, but instead he's lost a position to the AlphaTauri behind. Right, so 6 laps remaining here at Baku. Looks like Will the Game has some very good pace still in the bank. Obviously tire advantage over Johnny. He has fresher medium tires, so probably going to try to have one sent down the inside towards the end of the straight, but the Joker is not going to let him go that easily. Oh, as the Joker gets way too close and out of shape and slams into the wall, and that allows Twanak to breeze past him on this main straight. Further back we have Schoon weaving, trying to break the toe, as we have a huge crash on the straight. Twanak and the Joker Psycho. What went on over there? Przemu involved as well. That was madness. It looked like somebody weaved on the straight, and that is the end of the Joker Psycho's race. On the main straight, Twanak is down a front wing. Is Przemu down a front wing? Yes, he is. Noof Squid seems to have avoided picking up any damage there. I think Wicked Prophet and Schoon got away unscathed as well. How that is not a safety car, I have no idea, but anyways, regardless, we move on. Schoon has a hell of a job to do to try and defend from the Wicked Prophet behind. I'm sorry, I just can't understand what the fuck happened on that straight. So we have safety cars for people just spinning out and crashing on their own, but an airplane crash with like 4 cars involved on the main straight. No, that's clearly not enough for a safety car. That is insanity. And the longer this race goes on, the more those soft tires are going to be hurting, as their durability is going to start coming to an end very soon. So we have yellow flags in Sector 2, and we have another crash, and this time it is Twanak, and I believe that will be a safety car, maybe. I believe we might have crossed a threshold of how many safety cars are allowed in a race. We're down to 8 runners. Twanak out as well. Further up ahead, Will the Game and Johnny going at it. Will the Game is going to try and move around the outside, easily gets that done, and he has promoted himself up into P3. Maybe not quite close enough to nab P2, but we'll wait to see how this race transpires, because Seb has absolutely gapped Christ by 3.5 seconds, despite having the harder tire compound. Johnny looks for maybe a move down the inside, isn't going to get it. Prajemu pits onto the softs, presumably to change his front wing. Maybe going to pick up an extra point for fastest lap as well. As it looked like Johnny was maybe trying to have a move down the inside, but couldn't quite get it done. Schoon is all over the back of the Alpine now, as he is practically pushing him along, and he has pushed him along. Johnny is sideways towards the entry of the castle section, and I assume he's not going to be too happy with that. Oh boy. I mean, when there's like... I don't know, I'm at a loss for words here. There's 8 cars left in the running. Noof Squid gets himself ahead of Johnny, lets his teammate back through. That's Noof up into P6. Johnny is driving without a front wing, so that's going to be yet another pit stop. Let's take a look at the Destructors Championship real quick. Twanak has left the session, understandably, as my audio has gone away. That's great. That is great. There we go, it's back. Ah, jeez. Okay, Wicked Prophet, 7/10 actually behind Schoon. His tires will still be pretty decent. If he wants to get this move done, he needs to get it done quick, because those tires are going to start dropping off very soon. Or maybe he decides to hang in the DRS of Schoon and try and go for a move towards the end. We will have to wait and see. Johnny comes out of the pits in P8. At the moment, this is the closest battle, or I should say the only battle on track. As we have another DNF, Schoon goes straight on, locked the fronts, and there are now 7 runners in this race. That sees Wicked Prophet up into P4. I don't believe there was any contact between the two. I think Schoon just locked the brakes, maybe needed to turn the bias a bit down. The fronts couldn't get the front in, and he is out. Okay. Yeah, Seb looks to be well clear at the moment. 4.5 tenths is the gap. I don't think he'll be threatened for the race win, even if, well, there can't be a safety car anymore as they've reached lap 24, and yeah. So unless there's a big mistake from Bang Average Seb, this win is almost certain for him. But I don't want to give anybody the commentator's curse. So yeah, let's see. Oh yay, some entertainment. Prajemu sets the fastest lap of the race so far, 43.5. Let's see if Johnny can beat that. I don't think he will, because he doesn't have a lot of battery left. Jeez. You know, Dylan, you're so right. I really just should play Fortnite. Crank some 90s while I'm watching this. Will is actually closing in a lot to Christ, so we might still have a battle for P2 on our hands here. Is a lot lower on the battery department though, so he's gonna have to make this time up through the corners. But he just seems to be gaining so much on the straights. Maybe it's a setup related issue for Christ here, as Will needs to use the battery to try and get into his DRS. Christ is dumping everything he has. So is Will the Game, but it's not going to be enough as they pass through the detection zone. So Will the Game is going to have to leave it late if he wants to get this move done on Christ. Christ with about 35% more battery than Will the Game behind. It's a big advantage, but if the problem is actually what I think it is, then this is going to be very hard for Christ to hold on to. Yeah, you can see how much Will the Game is gaining through the corners. 2/10 through turn 3 alone. And if he's going to be gaining like that through this technical bit, he should easily be in the DRS, but it doesn't seem like he is. Christ maybe just a bit better through the middle sector on this occasion. It's so hard to tell. You're splitting hairs when talking about these two, as we have a yellow flag, and that is for Johnny once again, taking to the escape road, but keep an eye on these two once again. Will the Game manage to save up a bit more battery on this lap, but same story for Christ. As, ooh, he gained so much on that exit, so now it's actually going to be a close fight to see if he's able to get the DRS on this second last lap. Doesn't seem to look like he will. 1.2 seconds is the gap. Don't use your battery now, just save it for later. That's good. Keep it down and try it again next lap. It's going to have to be done on the last lap, as we are on the last lap with our race leader, Bang Average Seb. He has looked untouchable for the majority of this race. First it was Prejemu, now it's Bang Average Seb. Done an excellent job to keep the tires under control, keep the gap well maintained to Christ. It's just over 6 seconds now is the gap. So we have a yellow flag, and that is for Johnny once again. So, 1.2 seconds between Will and Christ. Down to 1.1 seconds. Will it be enough? Will's going to need a miracle second sector here if he wants to get anywhere near the back of that Williams. I think if anyone is capable of doing it, it's our championship leader, as Christ has a bit of an issue with the walls, and that has put Will the Game all over the back of him. And now Will the Game knows he has a job to do towards the line, using a bit of battery Christ to try and maybe keep that gap, but we know the DRS slipstream and battery usage on the straight is very crucial. It's up to these last couple of corners. If Will the Game is able to keep the gap nice and small, it looks to be about 4/10 at the moment. This final corner, this final exit, so crucial, and Will the Game is all over the back of Christ. We'll wait to see what they're capable of doing, as I do have to switch to Bang Average Seb, as he has been utterly dominant today, crosses the line in first and wins in Azerbaijan. Further back, Will the Game, will he be able to get Christ on the line? 2.5 tenths, 1.7 tenths, and he's just not able to get the position. Has to settle for P3 at the moment. Christ holds on very nicely to P2. Wicked Prophet is going to come home in P4. New Squid further back, P5. Prejemu, after what could have been a very dominant race win from him, has to settle for P6. A lot of incidents he had to deal with. Johnny in P7, last on track, but still decent points for him. But yeah, Bang Average Seb is your race winner here at Azerbaijan. Take a bow, Seb. That was a very impressive drive from you. As more problems for Johnny. I think he was just slowing down before the line. Anytime, dude. Anytime. I live for this. I'm sorry if the comms are not up to the mark, but yeah, I tried to keep it lighthearted, but yeah, it's bang average Seb in P1. He manages to get the win ahead of Christ in P2, Will the Game P3, Wicked Prophet P4, Noof Squid P5, Prejemu P6 with the fastest lap, and Johnny rounds off all of your finishers here tonight. Yep, thank you guys a lot for tuning in. Yeah, I will see you guys not next week, but let's just say I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.